Hi, Domini Anne here. I'm going to show you a really easy way that you can access better control and mobility of all of your leg articulation. So to start off, it's really helpful to understand the anatomy of your leg. As far as your bones go, they follow a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. So we have one femur bone, one thigh bone. That intersects at the knee with two bones of your lower leg, the tibia and the fibula. They travel down and stack up on the three bones of your heel / the back of your foot, which basically create the possibility of ankle mobility. That extends out to four kind of square-shaped bones, the cuneiform and the cuboid, that then connect to the five bones of our toes, which we could also think of as your foot fingers. So this makeup is easier to understand a little bit if we look at our hand-arm relationship, which follows the same pattern. We have five fingers, then there are 4 and 3 bones at the wrist, 2 bones in our lower arm, and a single bone in the upper arm. When I go to move my arm in space, it's easy for me to think about that as leading from the hand, and you can see how my arm naturally follows the patterns my hand makes. If I tried to do that same pattern from my elbow, the motion would be less controlled and less fluid. And again, even more so if I tried to do it from the shoulder joint. Same principles apply for your leg. So let's look at the ankle for a moment. We have different motions available in the ankle. The first one we usually think of is plantar and dorsiflexion, aka flexing and pointing. For this whole sequence, you're going to want to have a medium to large stability ball. I am sitting on my gyrotonic bench because it's available. You can sit on any couch, bed, stool, and then put your foot on a ball. Ideally, it's a little lower than your hip, but also whatever you have is great. So the first movement, plantar and dorsiflexion of the ankle, if you pull your toes back and push the ball away with your heel, you can feel that motion in the ankle and also feel how it extends up to the knee. And then go to pull the ball back with your foot. Feel the action in your ankle, and then how, as you continue, that extends up to the lower leg into the knee. And just try that a few times, pushing the heel away and then pulling the ball back into you. So that's motion number 1. We have 2 other motions that are available within these bones, inversion and eversion, where the foot rolls in and out. And then we also have pronation and supination, which is where the foot moves like a windshield wiper. I'd like you to go ahead and just hold your heel and ankle and do those 2 actions, pulling the sole of the foot towards your face and then moving it away. Feel the motion beneath your heel hand and also the muscular actions higher up where the foot turns into your shin. You should feel some muscles contracting on either end as you pull the foot towards and below the sky. Now let's try turning the foot like a windshield wiper, so in and out. Same action, pulling the toes up now and then moving same action, pulling the big toe up to your face now and then pushing the baby toes down to the ground. Feel how there's a different muscular activity going on and also how the articulation is different beneath your heel hand. When the knee is bent, this allows the bones of the tibia and the fibula to slide on each other in different ways. So it changes the way that the femur rests on the 2 bones of the knee in the hip socket. Now I'd like you to just go ahead and hold your knee and make a little circle with your foot on the ball. So you can feel how your foot mobilization facilitates precision and articulation in the knee. And if you imagine you're pushing that ball through thick mud or concrete, you'll feel how all of those motions get a lot stronger up around the knee. Now, keep on making circles with your foot and sense into what's happening in your hip socket. That this motion is also rotating the top of the femur head, the trochanter within the hip socket. You could think of it as lubricating the motion of the joints. In between all of our joints, there's fluid that's massaged throughout the inside of that joint as we move. So we're actually helping to pump that fluid around the inside where all of our bones intersect, creating better control, smoother movement, and better feeling movement. Go ahead and change sides, and we'll turn this into a bit of a sequence for the foot leg. So we're going to start with the leg straight, pushing the ball away, and then pulling it towards us, allowing the foot action to move the knee. Use your hands to get a better sense of the interior movement of your body. You can hold the ankle, the heel, or the knee. And I recommend spending a little bit of time on all of them. And then play with rolling the ball across the front of your body, so from right to left. That is inversion and eversion. Feel what that does up at the knee to create mobility. And you can also experiment with slowly straightening the knee and then bending it to notice how the straighter the leg is, the more mobility gets moved up the leg towards the thigh and the hip. And the more bent the leg is, the more mobility is created. Also, the freer your knee is to move. Carrying on with circles. Don't overthink it. Use your foot to draw the ball in a circle, a few times in each direction, and experiment with how challenging you make that for yourself. And experiment with how challenging you make that for yourself by increasing your perceived resistance, pushing more into the ball, imagining that it's harder. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. You can go ahead and try any type of leg exercise sequence after activating that mobility from the foot and the ankle to feel the difference. Or you can join me in the next video where we go through a longer floor warm-up that focuses more on this same kind of action.